Hey viewers, good morning to you. Yes, I got dropped.
That is cool.
Viewers, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is your favorite Sunday morning show, the SonRise. Yes, we are live. Please let your friends and family know that we are live on here now. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, please join in with us. It's so good to have you all on the show with us this morning. As you can see, Prof didn't believe it that I'll come live and be greeting you people first.
Look,
I told him
you're just trying to make up for your past, your past sins.
No. Our
it's
viewers
never
know
going
that
to
I
be forgotten.
our viewers know that I truly appreciate them, and I always want to greet them first, even though you are the one I'm seeing in front of me. But viewers, yes. Anyway, thank you for joining. Prof, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Morning, Bibby. I'm fine, thanks. And my child point out one thing to you. You see, when you see an individual, imagine what would you do if you saw a lion going out and saying, "Look at me, I'm a lion, I'm a lion." You think, hang on, what's going on here?
Right, yeah.
You feel the need to play to the gallery to make our viewers feel that you love them and you care about them. Maybe the question is there something else going on? Because I don't need to do that. Our viewers know I care about them. They know they have
Prof, have you not heard when they say that? No, Prof, no, I disagree. Have you not heard when they say that? Please speak up. Make it really loud for the people at the back to hear, just in case anyone thinks that, oh yeah, Bibby doesn't care about them or something. I have to make sure that they are aware of it.
Don't protest too much, methinks.
Anyway, Prof, so good to have you again. It's so good to see you on the show. And how was your week? Did you have a good week?
Good, yes, a good week. The fuel situation, so it's obviously easing, and so obviously
I think some areas are still dealing with it actually. So it depends on where you are, basically. So,
yes,
but mostly
I was going to say that I'm not saying that whether the fuel situation is or not, that's the determinant of whether I had a good week. Just making an observation.
Oh yeah.
Right? But it's a good week in summary. Thank you for asking. How about you, Bibby?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Busy as always, but yeah, it was fantastic. Well, the rain we had a few days. When it rains.
Autumn. If you're going to talk about rain, you're going to be talking about
I'm going to be talking about it. So viewers, by the way, you have to please just allow me, because I'll be talking about rain. But you know what the funniest thing is? I actually love it when it rains, right? But that is if I'm not in the rain. So if I'm in like at home and it's raining, you will see me literally put up all my blinds and everything. I like the sight of rain falling. I do really like it.
If you're caught in the rain, pretend that you're at home. Then you'll be fine.
No, that's not going to be possible because I'll be wet. So I won't be in the house and be wet. It's not going to be possible. But yeah, so it was a great week. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you. Viewers, let us know what you got up to during the week as well. I think on this show, we should start talking about interesting things that we saw during the week, or of course, maybe because we're not going out as much as we used to before. So there isn't a lot to see at the moment. The only thing I probably saw during the week, I went to the office a couple of times and just saw a lot of people on the road and the trains being packed. So that was all. But other than that, it was fantastic. It was good to also see some colleagues I hadn't seen in a while as well, just to catch up on a few things. So it was very good. So Prof, for this morning, the conversation we're going to have, it's I'm sure majority of the people, or let me not say majority, because majority is what? Some people noticed last week that there was some sort of outage on some of our social media platforms. So the likes of WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, those three.
You mean the same company in essence? Because
exactly, yes. So by the way, for viewers that probably didn't know this, the three of them, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, are all owned by the same company. So now, all of those platforms went down for probably about 6 hours or so. And it seemed like everything just came to a halt. Like no one wants to move. Some people were confused. No one knew what to do. Some people were pulling their hairs out. We saw on Twitter, there was so much traffic on Twitter. In fact, Twitter had to literally tweet something like, hello, literally everyone. Like something like that to say, yes, we see that you're all here. And, you know, I was thinking, I mean, I didn't really notice on time. I didn't even know WhatsApp was down or anything. I mean, I was working, but people sent messages. People were trying to get through to other people, or, you know, as always, like you just chill and be scrolling on your phone, going through Instagram, different pages, or even Facebook, reading some stuff. And people just feel, oh, I've sent something, he hasn't gone. Oh, I've sent a message to Prof, he hasn't responded. Actually, maybe we'll respond later. And then maybe 20 minutes after, nothing, they picked up their phone. In fact, I heard that some people actually rebooted their phones more than 3-4 times. They thought the problem was with their phone. So now, Prof, I'd like to hear your views on when things like this happen and how we react to it. And does it really say anything about us, about our, like, habits, or about our, you know, those things that, I mean, we're all on social media. Well, I don't think you're on social media, actually. I can't say you're on social media, but I mean, I'm on social media. And if I use social media, I probably use it maybe first thing in the morning or late at night, you know, so I wouldn't have even noticed something was wrong. But for those who are constantly on social media, be it WhatsApp, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, and then all of a sudden for 6 hours, they had no access. What happened then? I mean, what are your views on this?
Thank you, Bibby. I think you're asking a very interesting question, and your question may sound like it's about Facebook because it's Facebook that owns both, well, the other two. But I think it's a deeper question than that. It's a question that brings dependency or dependence into the mix. It brings connection into the midst, the need for social contact into the midst, and potentially, yeah, well, I use the word dependency. Let's not use the other one that starts with an A. So the question is, in that time that there was that, you know, blackout, if you like, what did people do? And you know what? I think that we should ask the people watching, and while we're talking about this, those who are watching, it was interesting to know what you did. Number one, when did you find out? Did you find out immediately? Did you find out later? Did you never actually know? Is this news to you? You think, what are they talking about? Yes. You know, so that's one thing to know. The second thing would be, when you found out, how did you find out? Did you find out because somebody called you and told you, because you tried to use it? Just what were the circumstances? And then number three, what did you do when you found out? What was your initial reaction, right? Was it a reaction of, just another day? Was it a reaction of panic? Oh my goodness, what's happening? Was it a reaction of, right, let's wait this out and see what happens? And as the day progressed, you know, what did you do? Did you stay awake? Or I think this happened overnight, right? Or something like that, at least UK time?
No, during the day, actually. So I think it came back over, like maybe the middle of the night. So by the time we slept and woke up, it was back. Because I got a message at past 12 midnight. So. Oh,
right. Yeah. Okay, there you go. So I just betrayed my own reaction. So, but either way, did you just kind of sit waiting for it? Did it hold things up? What was your reaction to it? And I think that this brings out a number of things here. Obviously, right, we must put this in context. People use social media for different reasons.
For different reasons, of course, yeah.
From the privileged, in quote, because I think that for many of us, we are very privileged in many ways, even if we don't recognize it. For the privileged, if you like, first world perspective, the majority of people use it for leisure-related activities, right? Okay, some use it for business, but we're not talking of business now. Leisure-related activities, social contact, just keeping in touch with other people. We recognize that there are other people for whom it's beyond that. Think of that person who is alone, who is, for whatever reason, cut off from other people. Yeah. This becomes a lifeline to be in touch. Right. Person who is separated or away from their family for work or whatever, this is the way they stay in touch. You know, WhatsApp and these other media, social media links. You know that, for example, if you want to make an international call, for some people it's a lot less expensive to use that. So there are all of these uses. So I think that a lot of our questions may be directed to the other side, which says, how do you use social media? What impact did it have on your life? And what is it saying to you? So think about a situation where you had 3 different people. Okay. Person A actually didn't realize that there was a blackout, that these networks were down until maybe somebody told them. And even then they said, okay, great. Doesn't really change much. Okay.
Yeah.
Person B, it was an annoyance, an irritant, because they use social media to catch up on the news, to whatever, read up what's going on. But okay, I could manage that. I can find something else to do. Person C turns their world upside down. I mean, this is their source of, feel good. This is their source of validation. This is their source of connecting with the world. This is their source of projecting their identity. This is their source of, who am I? If there's no Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever, who am I? I don't know who I am anymore, right? And these may sound like extremes, but I'm pretty sure that these 3 categories, and I'm sure there are others in between on the other side as well, are captured among the people that live around us, if not those that are watching. And the question I want to ask is, whatever category you fall into, I think for me the most important question is, what were you doing during that time? Did you find yourself saying, I don't have access to Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp, but that's okay, I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to actually finally talk to my spouse? Oh yeah, because normally when we speak, we send.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Or actually, you know what? I'm going to pick up the phone and call somebody. Or I'm just going to nip across the street and knock on the door of my neighbor if they want to talk. You know what I mean? Or I'm actually, instead of spending long hours on Facebook, I'm actually going to spend time with the family. Let's talk, let's hang out, because my phone is not buzzing with messages from here, there, and the other, and I'm not missing anything because nothing is happening, right? Did you do that? Did you take the opportunity to do what you might say that actually matters more? Did you take the opportunity to say, I've been looking for that chance to maybe read, and I just couldn't get to it because there was so much of this? Did you say, you know what, let me just pick up that book I wanted to read and read? Yeah. What a time for self-introspection, because there is so much noise usually that comes from every direction. And you know what happens? Yeah, when there's so much noise coming from outside, it's really hard to take some time and just look in. Yeah. And when you have that luxury, in today's world, it's becoming more and more of a luxury to have this time where there is nothing just coming and disturbing you. And you know what? You have a legitimate excuse. If your concern was, I have to respond to all those messages because I don't want to get in trouble. Well, you have an excuse, right? What did you do? Did you take that time to have some you time and just think, and perhaps ask yourself the question, what is this doing to me right now?
Yeah. But you know what, Prof? Sorry to cut in there. Do you think that actually there might be some people, some category of people who maybe they realized, yes, this WhatsApp isn't working, or Facebook isn't working, Instagram isn't working, and they were fine just going about their day. But maybe every 30 minutes, they found themselves like picking up their phone to go back there again and see, or maybe it's come back on or something. Like, because people like that might not necessarily see themselves as, okay, it seems like I can't do without this platform. I just need to connect with, because they're still going about their day, they're still doing whatever it is that they needed to do. So I, for one person, I didn't even notice that anything was down, to be honest. I didn't notice anything. The only thing I noticed was I didn't see any WhatsApp messages for a while. And for me, it was so good because I was in meetings all day. So it wasn't just, because on your phone, you get this buzzing thing when a message drops. And like my phone even rested for that period. But when I realized, I was sending a message to my husband just to find out where it was and all of that. And I saw that the message wasn't going. So I thought maybe it was my network, or where it was, there was no signal or something. So I just left it, not knowing that he had sent me.
So you finally had to talk to him then?
Well, no, but the thing, again, he wasn't even at home. So in fact, when the whole thing came back on, he had already sent me a message, probably like about an hour and a half before that time. And I had not still received the message. So he didn't even notice that the message is sent didn't go through. So I was like, actually, this is quite interesting. How many people sent messages, especially on WhatsApp, right? Because WhatsApp now, in a way, has kind of replaced, you were talking about making international calls, they're cheaper, but even where you're in the same country, like people literally still call you on WhatsApp as opposed to calling you directly, so it's like, and that platform on its own has taken over, the quick phone call. So I know now, I always say that for people that know me, if you want to get something from me very urgent, like it's something is urgent and you need it from me quickly, don't send me a WhatsApp message, because that message I might not get to it until a week later. But if you call me directly or you send me a direct message, like a proper text message, then I'll see it and get to it. So some people probably didn't even notice at all. And when they did, it was a case of, oh gosh, I remember sending a message to this person 3 hours ago and they haven't responded. That's unlike them. What's happening? They checked. The funniest thing, some people actually said they rebooted their phones more than 4 times, thinking there was something wrong with their phone.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using it for, again, active social contact, I can understand that. And that's why I'm being careful to say, look, this is not a prescriptive discourse we're having here. We're not saying that here is the appropriate level. Of course, we know with all things, there's a threshold beyond which if you go, then there's an issue. But that's not what we're saying here. We're just saying, think about it, this self-introspection. What did it mean to you when this happened? Did it mean maybe a little bit more than it should have? You're describing a situation where it probably didn't mean that much, right?
Yeah.
And in that case, perhaps that's not what we're talking about, or perhaps there isn't that much more to look at. I know that there are some people, for example, who had said, I see using social media as an area that I need to work on. Let's just put it that way. And so when we, as Christians, often when we want to bring the flesh under subjection and kind of work on ourselves, what do? We fast, right? But bear in mind that the idea of fasting is very old. And when you think of the time that fasting started, what were those things that kind of got people, if you like, hooked? You had food and you had wine, right? Yeah. And these were the things that people were fasting around because they sort of need to deny themselves of something. In our world today, it's less about, the food is always going to be an issue and drink, but there are now, these are the things. I know of people who said, you know what, I think I need to do a social media fast. And
people do it,
3 hours into the fast, they say, I can't do it, right? And that's what I'm saying. So suddenly you find yourself, you're gifted, at least to some degree. Obviously, Twitter are still there. So of course, some people might say, well, I'm gifted 6 hours or whatever number of hours, so I just go and spend it on Twitter. That's what I mean, right? So we need to ask ourselves the question, this is not, we're not pointing fingers or anything like that. Of course not. That's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to draw a learning opportunity from this and saying, if you had those 6 hours, in essence, that you weren't expecting, you just got those 6 hours or whatever number of hours that was, and you say you're free from social media. For some people, that's not freedom. For some people, that's bondage. Or you're free from social media for 6 hours. Yeah. What did you invest that time in? Did you use it to nurture relationships that matter? Did you use it to do something else? Did you use it to rest? Just sleep. Goodness me, you don't sleep because you're always on social media. What did you do, right? Or did you find out that you were having withdrawal symptoms? I'll leave it there. I think we're out of time.
Prof, it's so great. I think this is, for me, it's just more of, as you said, it's having that time to look inwards and say, okay, what really happened during this time? I mean, I'm sure most of us here are probably not the right audience that this literally affected, that we were not able to move or what, but we would know people. I know people who literally said, you know what, I was lost. I felt like I've missed everything, like something had happened, and that's the thing. It's just checking to see how much reliance have we got on these platforms. In fact, they are too much part of our lives now than you want to even accept. But as we said, viewers, we've run out of time, and what we will leave you with from this topic this morning is that, just take a step back and think about what happened last week. Did it have any impact on you? Just kind of review your usage of social media and how that's impacting your life. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, it will be our Spotlight Minutes. See you shortly.
See you.
We are plagued with gaps all around us. There is a gap between where you are and where you want to be. Some gaps are obvious, others are not. Sometimes the gap is in our own minds. It is time to mind the gap. In this series, come and learn how to bridge the critical gaps in our lives. Join us every Wednesday this October from 7:25 p.m. on Facebook or YouTube at HOTR London. Don't tune in alone. Invite someone along. Jesus came to fill the gap.
Hey, Hannah. Good morning
Hannah.
to you.
Good morning.
Welcome, Hannah.
Good morning. Welcome on
How are
the
you?
show. It's so good to have you on the show with us this morning. Oh, wow. I know people are probably looking and saying, and Prof is waiting to do this. He just can't wait to get people to know you a bit more. And I'll let you do that. But can I just say very quickly that your background is so beautiful. Like, you kind of just killed it. We should give you a prize. I mean, Prof will give you something.
Thank you.
You know what happened there, right? Bibby and I looked and said, yeah, we know Hannah is coming with the goods, so we'll just tone our backgrounds down. That's why it's looking a bit plain behind us. Because you're bringing the goods, right? The colors. But on that note, again, fans, family, whoever is watching, they already know you. But I know the majority of people watching might say, "Okay, who's Hannah?" Hannah, can you tell us one thing about yourself? Just one thing about yourself that those who are watching may not know. Interesting, something, of course, something interesting.
Okay, I will tell you that I'm a musician. I play the piano, I teach the piano, and I love music. I lead a choir. So yeah, music's my passion.
Oh, wow.
That's something that I love. Yeah.
Hi. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Well, Hill City, I hope you heard that. And
I think the musicians are watching and they are writing, they're making notes.
Oh, yeah. So maybe we're going to have like a SonRise concert, maybe, and then we can get Hannah to look after that for us. That'd be nice. Yes.
Let's just get it moving.
All right, Hannah, thank you so much again for joining us. You have joined us for the Spotlight Minutes this morning. And so on the Spotlight Minutes, we have two options of, the game. We call it a game. And some people like to call it the hot seat. And I don't think it is that hot. The seat isn't that hot. I'm sure you're not feeling that hot either. So, for the first option is all about you. So this is where Prof would ask you some questions, random questions about yourself, and then you go through as many as possible under 30 seconds. And the second option is tell me something. So tell me something is where I'll give you a word and use that word as many times as possible under 30 seconds. So which will be your option this morning, Anna?
I will go with the first option, so all about me.
Oh, fantastic. So we get to know a bit more about you then. Yes, that's great. So Prof, I'm sure you're ready for Hannah. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Ready?
Hannah, are you ready? So, as I always say that be mindful, your time is of essence, of course. So if you're not sure of a question, just say pass. So Prof can read another question to you as quickly as possible and then you can answer. Okay?
Okay.
So Are you ready to go?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, Hannah, your time starts now.
Which famous person would you like to be best friends with?
Oh, Audrey Hepburn.
What is something you're embarrassingly bad at?
Oh, throwing.
Where would you like to live if you could live anywhere in the world?
Oh, I'd live somewhere hot in the Maldives, maybe.
What's the greatest TV show of all time?
Friends.
The greatest band of all time?
Coldplay.
What's your best website?
Time up!
Oh, that goes so quickly.
I know, that's what happens, right? That 30 seconds goes like that.
Wow.
And you know what? I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe your own personality, right? It's for this one, you really want to go for it very quickly. Like, you just want to attack the question from Prof as he's saying it before it ends. You give the answer.
It's all good. You know what? I think that we may actually ask Hannah back on the show at some point.
Oh, yes.
Let's see whether she can improve on that. But I think you got 5. Right?
She got 5. Yes,
Okay.
well done.
Well done.
The first time.
That's really good. For the first time again, yes. So thank you so much for joining us. It has been fun. We will see you in service. Don't go anywhere, okay? Thank you, Hannah. See you soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Depressed, overwhelmed, and submerged under the challenges of life, but God has not forsaken you. Like an eagle, you will rise. You will burst forth, up and out of everything that has tried to keep you under. Your time to emerge is now. Every Sunday this October, Pastor Temi will be delivering a word to propel us into our season of emergence. So don't miss a Sunday at House on the Rock London, in person or online from 9 a.m, kicking off with our SonRise talk show. The world better get ready because a new you is about to emerge.
Oh, wow. Well done, Hannah. That was so good. Yes, you got 5 for the first try. As Prof said, definitely we're getting you back. Maybe by then you'll be able to push it up a little bit more. But at least we got to know a bit about you. And also for our viewers as well. See, guys, a music teacher that you can consult for your children classes.
It's not free. It's not free. Let me just say it
Prof, it's not going to be free. They know. I trust them.
I just want to make sure it's clear.
No, I trust the people. They're going to pay for it. So, but yeah, it's so good. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It has been great. It's been good to have you all on. Please do not forget, engage with us. Let your friends know, let your family members know. This is a show that you want to tune into on a Sunday morning before service. And right about now, it is time for service. Prof, as always, please take us into service.
Thank you, Bibby. And indeed, thank you everyone for staying with us this far. Obviously, we still have the pièce de résistance to come, which is the main course. That is the service. This is just an appetizer. And if you enjoyed what you saw now, you're going to love the service. And what's on the menu? Well, we've got Hill City. We've got the musicians, not quite Hannah, but other musicians who are great at what they do. And we've got you. But of course, we have got Pastor Temi and the word fresh, hot from the oven of heaven. Don't go anywhere. God bless you. And see you there.
Stay there.